I know and understand that you don't support the wholesale legalization of marijuana. You made it clear that we face a binary choice between the federal prohibition and a, quote, federal approach.
So just a few months ago, New York and New Jersey appeared to be on the way to legalizing recreational marijuana. Now efforts in both states appear to be falling apart.
I think it should be legal in all states. My brother actually went to jail, you know, for having marijuana on him. It was such a little amount. And I could even go deep into that about what it's like being black in America with drugs. With it should be legal. It's so wrong how people are capitalizing off of it in the states that it is legal in, yet all these other states, people are still going to jail. It's a federal crime for years and years and years. It's ruining their lives. It should be legal everywhere. It doesn't matter what the effects are. There should be rules around the legalization, yes, but recreational, yes, you need to drop everyone's charges. It is not that serious. It'll help everything, like it'll just help the world, so yeah. I was just in California and I live in Atlanta. All right, it's a $75 fine to get caught with under an ounce in Atlanta, but it's just the fact that I was just in Cali and it was just on the radio. It was getting advertised everywhere, and then I have to go back home and live with my brother, you know, who has to, on a regular basis, deal with the fact that he has a felony. Oh, that's crazy. A felony for smoking weed? Come on, you probably smoke weed, the person watching this. Like, and some people have to go to jail for this? That's just ugly, so.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. See, yes, of course it should be, yeah. Hell yeah. Because, first of all, they're starting to find out a lot of things about marijuana that is actually good for people. And marijuana is the only thing on this planet that you cannot OD from. And that's a fact.
It doesn't seem to matter because everybody smokes it in any state anyway. But obviously, if it were legal, it could be regulated and probably controlled in a better way and managed, profitable. Well, again, who knows?
I think it should. I personally think marijuana use is the answer to the opioid epidemic. I think a lot of the opioid epidemic is caused by people using opiates for pain relief. And I think nobody ever died from marijuana use, so I believe that.
Yay! I think marijuana should be legalized in all states for everyone, and I think it's actually on its way for being legalized for everyone. With the CBD oil is the latest trend. Maybe that's paving the way for cannabis. You know, and what is it? New York and New Jersey are like in a competition of who's going to legalize marijuana first. There's like a race after California and Colorado. So I hope marijuana will free everyone. Everyone can be free.
Should marijuana be legalized in all the United States? I think the people that want to smoke marijuana do it with or without it being legal, but making it legalized would first help the economy. Imagine the economic profit that would occur just because of the fact that it is being sold and traded and bought in a legal way. Number two, marijuana does have benefits in terms of medical usage. Number three, in terms of recreational, I think we are all people, the same people that would poison themselves with alcohol are the same people that might hurt themselves with free marijuana usage. Again, majority of people do not poison themselves with alcohol knowingly. So marijuana should be legal so that it can be a part of a normal trade economy. And I also hope that marijuana being legal will make sure that people who are wrongfully incarcerated for it, for possession, can be let out of prison. Because they should not have been in prison in the first place for it, for simple possession.
Yeah, I think it just would be safer, because the reality is that there is a lot of marijuana going down a lot of strange, scary, crime-ridden paths, reaching teenagers, and yeah, I'm in support.
But that's a slippery slope for me. I mean, I think marijuana is fine. Yeah, I think marijuana is fine. But it's just, the drug thing. Yeah, it decriminalizes it, and it will fix a lot of wrongful convictions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. I've seen a lot of... I don't think that it should be legal for teenagers to get their hands on it, obviously, but I do think it's important that we make it safe. I think the black market can be dangerous, especially in New Haven, where last year we saw many people die from buying synthetic marijuana. So I think it's important that we make it safer to consume this recreationally.
Yes, I believe it is. It has medicinal purposes. I work in the medical field. Marijuana has been so effective for helping patients who have AIDS or cancers maintain an appetite so they can eat something and also relax them, and also a best holistic medicine out there.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think people are, it receives too much scrutiny. I think it can be taxed, there's a lot of benefits, health benefits to it, but I think it should be regulated. Like it should be, just like alcohol is, available to everyone, at a certain age, and there's laws against it saying you can't drive with it. These are all reasonable laws, and I think those laws should be also upon marijuana, but I don't think it should be illegal altogether. I think people should have the right to utilize it as they wish.
Absolutely. I don't know. Cigarettes are illegal. Opioids are illegal. Big Pharma has a lot of, medications that are killing people that are also misused. So marijuana hasn't really killed anybody, as far as I can tell. Why shouldn't it be illegal?
Yeah. There's a good viewpoint in The Economist that I read that it's essentially a victimless crime, right? So the only person you hurt when you get high is essentially yourself. Additionally, we've created a lot of harm from the war on drugs throughout the 70s. We've jailed a lot of people, disproportionately blacks and minorities in poorer areas. We've ruined a lot of lives. We've created a prison infrastructure. We've separated families. And additionally, you can get rid of a lot of drug violence and cartels by selling it legally, just like we've seen in states like Colorado and I think Washington and Washington, D.C.
Well, I'm not supportive of that. I think it's well, because I feel that, that's not helping the society. I grew up in the South Bronx, and I saw drugs, and I saw the damage that it did to people in my family and people around me, and I don't think you're just making it more legal so that people could come here to the park and get high.
I think if there's a way to regulate the driving aspect and making sure people are safely driving, then it should be legalized. But I think right now it's a little too early. I think it should be medically legal internationally, but not recreationally necessarily.
That's a very conflicting issue. I'm okay with it not being legalized or it being legalized, but if it becomes legalized, I definitely feel there should be certain strict rules and regulations to be placed. This should be standard, this is how much you can smoke, and then this, all right, and then there should be taxes implemented on it. It doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't really bother me.
Yes. I think it's prevalent regardless of whether it's legal or not. So why persecute people who are doing no harm to others by enjoying something in their home? That's their decision.
I'm okay with both of them. It can be legalized, it cannot be legalized. If it's legalized, then it should be done in proper way. Certain amounts are accredited to use, but if some people overuse it, sell it illegally, then that should be prohibited. If it's only used for recreational use, then of course yes, it should be legalized.
I think that marijuana should definitely be legalized, but also should be as close to natural as possible, because I see cases in people having serious mental issues due to usage of marijuana, and I see people because they are buying from the wrong sellers. So I think it should be legalized, but it also we should become more educated on it at the same time. on what's good and what's bad in marijuana.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's shown to be very less harmful than alcohol, so I don't see why not. I think it should.
I believe so for medical use. Yeah.
I think in all states. Yes.
Yeah. Why not?
No. Because I think people aren't educated enough on drugs, especially marijuana. Yes, people are taught like heroin is horrendous, cocaine is terrible. And then I feel like people are taught in school marijuana is like, okay, it's bad, but like we don't tell you why. But I personally had some family situations based around marijuana. It's horrendous, and I don't think people are well educated on it. And then you see everyone on the streets who are just, they have severe mental health problems. If you get rid of that, then
there's not enough awareness about the side effects of marijuana. Like you said, there's sort of a more relaxed approach to the drug, and it's still a pretty serious drug, so no, it shouldn't be legal.
It's already legalized in Canada. Like, the world didn't end.
It's cool.
Yeah.
The world didn't end.
I mean, why not? I think there's, the Canadian angle to it was really like bringing the activity that was already there into the legal framework so that everyone can kind of get the social benefit in terms of the tax revenue, and also being able to approach it more openly from the public health side. And it's only been for about a year, so it's kind of hard to know exactly the impacts, but judging from our experience in Canada, I think it makes sense.
No, because it is an intoxicant, and therefore people will misuse it. As we see, it's already being done, misused. And as far as its medicinal purposes, I'm not exactly sure if those claims are correct, but ultimately, according to the Vaishnava principles, it is an intoxicant, and people should refrain from using intoxication.